Just outside Denton, Texas, lies a bridge shrouded in legend and fear. Goatman's Bridge. Once a simple crossing, it's now known as one of the most haunted and demonic places in America. Locals speak of ghostly figures, twisted rituals, and a monstrous creature born of hatred and tragedy. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a warning. Old Alton Bridge, a rusted iron relic built in 1884 to connect the forgotten town of Alton with the growing city of Denton. Alton was a strange little town to begin with. When it was established in 1848, it had a population of just one man, a fact that feels somehow fitting given the lonely and haunted energy that seems to cling to the land. Though Alton was briefly named the county seat, the honor passed to Denton before long, and Alton slowly faded into obscurity, its last breath exhaled long ago, leaving behind little more than a name on a map. No longer used by vehicles, the old Alton Bridge now invites only the brave or the foolish to cross it on foot. But beware, many who do claim they were not alone. The legend of the Goatman. The most chilling tale tied to the bridge centers on a man named Oscar Washburn, a successful black goat farmer known affectionately and controversially as the Goatman. Oscar ran a humble farm with his family near the bridge. His livestock were known for their quality: rich milk, tender meat, strong hides, and business was good. Proud of his work, Oscar nailed a sign to the bridge that read, "This way to the Goatman." That sign, however, enraged local Ku Klux Klansmen who refused to accept a successful black man in their midst. One moonless night, in the late 1930s, they came for him. They dragged Oscar from his home, his screams echoing through the woods, and marched him to the bridge. There, beneath the iron girders, they tightened a noose around his neck and hurled him over the side. But when they descended to confirm the deed, the rope swung empty. Oscar's body had vanished. No splash, no body, nothing. Panic swept through the mob. They turned their fury on Oscar's home, setting it ablaze with his family still inside. Some say they hoped to lure Oscar out. Others believe it was simply an act of monstrous hatred. Either way, the Goatman was never seen alive again. The woods surrounding Goatman's Bridge are not just haunted, they are tainted. Investigators have found remains of animals mutilated in ways no natural predator could accomplish. Skinned, drained, laid out with disturbing precision. Sometimes as part of what appear to be ritual altars, bones arranged in pentagrams, entrails stretched between stones, the signs of offerings, sacrifices, summonings. There are even whispers of human sacrifices, though those claims remain unproven, or at least unacknowledged. There are considered to be multiple entities to haunt the bridge and the neighboring forest. but one that tends to come in contact with most of the visitors that come to Denton in search of the supernatural. A presence more malicious, more personal, a spectre known only as Steve. Steve is believed to have been a grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, a man who controlled hundreds of thousands and ruled with violent hatred. He had 3 wives and wanted a 4th. When she refused him, he kidnapped her. She refused to marry him. Instead, she took her own life, drinking poison to escape his grasp. And now, Steve's spirit, filled with all the evil he embraced in life, lingers at the bridge. Paranormal investigators report bite marks, scratches, and fits of rage after encountering him, with most of the victims being women. The Goatman. Local lore tells of a ritual. If you knock 3 times on the steel frame of the bridge at midnight, or sit in your car with lights off and honk 3 times, you may summon the Goatman. The Goatman is often seen as a towering creature, 8 feet tall, with fur that shifts between black and blood red. His horns curl grotesquely until they kiss his own skull. His eyes, solid black. And from his mouth, rows of fangs. But here's the catch. The Goatman may never have been human. Some believe he is not a ghost, but an egregore, a demon created from collective trauma, hate, blood rituals, suicides, and pain that soaked into the bridge over more than a century. It's said to be an embodiment of every evil act, every scream, every terrified whisper that's echoed in those woods. The Goatman is a monster forged by belief and suffering. One night, a group stood in a circle on the bridge, asking the spirits to leave them in peace. Suddenly, one woman cried out. She lifted her shirt to find 3 long scratches down her back, fanning outward like a claw. Another night, a woman refused to leave the bridge after a voice shouted at her to leave. "I'm not going anywhere," she told the spirit confronting her. Seconds later, her friend witnessed her lift into the air, feet dangling, before being slammed against the railing and dropped back onto the bridge. Whatever it was had tried to throw her off. A woman approaching the bridge one night was abruptly stopped in her tracks. She was frozen in terror as a goat-like figure floated above the bridge. No feet, no legs, just a half-bodied spectre of a Goatman staring back at her. It didn't speak. Its eyes were cold, wide and unblinking. They locked onto hers with ancient, unsettling clarity, vacant, yet sentient and hollow. Then the Goatman began to drift backwards, slow, smooth and silent, receding into the deeper forest. But his eyes never left hers, not once. Even as his form dissolved into the darkness, swallowed by the trees and mist, she could still feel that gaze holding fast from the darkness. The old Alton Bridge is not just a relic of the past. It is a place of power, a crossroads of agony and vengeance. Whether haunted by Oscar Washburn, stalked by Steve, or inhabited by something far darker, the Goatman's Bridge is not a place to visit lightly, because once you cross the bridge, you will never know what's waiting for you on the other side.